Hello, everybody. My name is Laura Faber. Welcome to this video phone call and welcome. This is a business opportunity call and I am from Nashville, Tennessee, and all these lovely women that you see on the screen with me are my business partners, and I am proud to call them my business partners and my friends, and they are all people who said yes to this opportunity that is Rodan and Fields. And I really asked them to share with you kind of their story and why they said yes and why and how they're working this into their lives. And hopefully one of their stories is going to resonate with you. I am a little bit about me. I was a broadcast journalist, went to school for broadcast journalism, was a TV news anchor for nearly 25 years, and was asked to join this business 8 years ago. I didn't say yes right away. I've been working this business now for 5.5 years, and I just couldn't see it. I wasn't ready to leave my job yet, but the woman who was talking to me about it kept talking to me about it. And in the meantime, I had left TV. I was teaching broadcast and film in a high school. I was working so much and was so stressed and exhausted that I knew that I had to make a change. And in the meantime, I'd seen the woman, my sponsor, become so successful with Rodan and Fields. Her skin was being transformed. I knew a couple of other people who were consultants, and I thought, gosh, I was turning 50. That was another thing. You know, I was seeing some changes in my skin, and I thought, maybe I should just give it a try. What is there to lose? I had tried a few of the products, liked them. We were about to launch into Canada, and you're going to meet one of my very first consultants ever who joined my team, who was a friend of mine from the broadcast journalism world years ago. And so I thought, maybe it's time. I jumped in while I was still teaching, but really started working at kind of the summer. And I said to myself, if I see forward motion, I'm not going to go back to teaching. Well, the short story is that I didn't go back to teaching. I quit full-time teaching and I started working Rodan and Fields, and I've never looked back. And I'll tell you, I had every objection that many of you probably have. I had never done sales. I didn't want to bug my friends and family. We didn't have a whole lot of money. My husband had kind of been through several job changes and losses in the time, and we had kind of burned through our savings. So I didn't have a lot of extra income, so I was worried about that. But ultimately, I kind of did. I was pretty coachable and did what my sponsor told me to do. And I saw that growth and potential month after month, so much so, as I said, I didn't go back to teaching. And here I am now, 5.5 years later, making real money, paying real bills, and able to do things like I picked up my college freshman daughter and went on spring break with her to Florida. And it wasn't really a vacation for me, but I was working and able to work from the beach. How cool is that? All you need is Wi-Fi. So I have loved everything about this business. I love the products. The doctors were totally credible from the start for me. Actual dermatologists who had created products. So it wasn't a no-brainer for me, but after I joined, it was kind of like, why didn't I say yes the very first time I was asked? But you don't know what you don't know. And now I do. And now I'm sharing this with you and I'm telling you that this is a real opportunity, a credible opportunity with legitimate doctors, products that work for many, many people. It is the real deal. So that's my story. Laura Faber is my name, like I said. Okay, I'm going to jump to Sarah Bishop, because she was as I was telling you before, she was one of my very first consultants from Canada, Font Hill, which is near Niagara in Ontario in Canada. But I'm going to unmute. Sarah, you're good. Go ahead, Sarah.
Okay. Hey guys, thanks, babes. Well, this is fun, our Brady Bunch style. See, we get to hang out with each other every day, right? So a bit of my story is that I met Laura Faber in Nashville. She was the main day news anchor. I was the weekend news anchor. She was kind of my mentor. We worked together a lot. And then I had to move back to Niagara, Canada for some health issues for my family to help them out. So she had told me about this brand by sending me a sample really, and I tried the sample because who doesn't want to play in skincare? It's just fun. And I could tell right away from the quality of the product. I think, you know, in news, we've had the opportunity to try a lot of different stuff behind the curtains, and I could tell that there was something different about it. But that was it. That's kind of where it stopped for me, because I had a baby, a toddler. I was trying to teach. It was just really busy. But my husband, without me knowing, who owns a small business, he actually went and checked it out and researched it on his own and came back to me and he said, Sarah, you'd be crazy to not check this out. It's proactive. The doctors who created Proactive doing it again, but in a bigger market, anti-aging. And I just thought that was nice of him. Well, I thought it was funny actually that he researched it, and I said thank you, but I really wasn't interested just because I couldn't wrap my head around what this was. I was busy, and that was pretty much it. But then I thought, well, I have to get back to Laura and tell her why I'm saying no. I wasn't 100% sure why I was saying no. I just knew I was going to say no. So when I started researching it, you know, as news reporters, we're paid to put on our researching hats and pull stories apart, find the holes and flaws in it, and that's our job. So I thought, okay, well, so I started researching and I saw what Forbes said, what Fortune had said, what Harvard Business School done a case study. We'd won the same American Business Award as Apple. That initially stopped me in my tracks because I thought, okay, hold up, what am I missing here? They are all credible. And that started my journey of research. And really by the end of it, it was more that I couldn't say no because it was so brilliant. So, you know, we looked at Proactive's success and what they had done. Success leaves clues. This had already been the #1 selling brand in retail. You know, I always say it's like, you know, if Kate Spade or I don't know, Apple, a top selling brand, closed their doors and pulled out to go online. Anyway, who wants to be the first to market? So I just thought it was really brilliant. But here's the funny thing. It ended up being the plan A that I didn't know I needed. So I did it because it just was so brilliant when I put my preconceived notions, what I thought it was. And so what happened is in teaching, where I live, teachers get paid, I think, get treated a little bit better here in Canada than in the States. And when I went to university, when I shifted from news reporting and got my B.Ed and my M.Ed, they said, in university, they said it'll be an average of 7 years, just so you all know, before you get a contract. Well, so while I was waiting for that and having the kids and everything, I ended up this became my replacement while I was waiting for the job. So this became the job. So my husband said, listen, if you want to teach, you go ahead and teach, but I just want you to look at the numbers. So for me, this has been a beautiful surprise, really, and blessing. And, you know, I see people get laid off all the time. I don't feel like I have to worry about that. I don't have to worry anymore if or when I'm going to get hired, and that the power is in someone else's hands. So for me, that's what's been a beautiful thing, that this has been fun and fulfilling, but also the paycheck. So for me, my personal story is that for us, it pays our mortgage, 2 car payments, and some left over. And I have to say that's my own story, and it comes with a lot of work. I try really, really hard, but it is what you want it to be. And the beautiful thing is now I am present for my kids, and I am in charge. I am not worried about a layoff. I am excited about my future because I know it's going to be good. So that's my story.
Unmute myself. Thank you, Sarah. Yes, your future is bright. Thank you for sharing your story. I think the next business partner to be added to Team Fab was Sarah Montgomery. So I'm going to unmute you, Sarah. And Sarah comes to us from Forestdale, Massachusetts. She's going to tell you kind of her background and what she does and why she said yes. Sarah, take it away.
Thanks, Laura. So I am in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, but I'm actually originally from Fonthill, Ontario, where Sarah Bishop is from. I grew up with Sarah, and she actually reached out to me almost 3 years ago now and asked me if I'd be willing to try Rodan and Fields, and I thought, why not? You know, what I was currently using was, you know, a major kind of Nordstrom type brand. It wasn't cheap. It wasn't uber expensive. It was keeping my face clean and moisturized, but I had turned 40 and I was starting to show that. And I thought, well, I've got nothing to lose. I'll give it a try. And I honestly had no expectations. I didn't think it was going to make much of a difference from the other things that I had tried. But within about 2 weeks, I did start to notice that my pores on my nose had improved. And lo and behold, at work, people had started to notice. I'm a board certified acute care nurse practitioner. So I work in a hospital. I'm around other people all day. I float all over the hospital. So I see different, predominantly nurses all over the place. And other people had started to notice that my skin was looking better, and they wanted to know what I was using. And Sarah Bishop, as she explained, had already come to the table with all of the research. She had already told me about Fortune and Forbes and the Harvard Business School study, which I ended up reading. And she'd already actually done all that homework for me. So it made it really, really easy for me to decide to jump in as a consultant. I got hooked on the products because they pretty quickly made a big difference for me. And then also in researching the company, you know, Katie Rodan and Kathy Fields, they are legit board certified dermatologists. They still actively practice, and they have set up their company to market a brand that is, in my opinion, obviously, far superior to anything else on the market currently, and especially in its price range, but even well above it. These products work. They do what they say they're going to do, and if they don't, they offer a 100% money-back guarantee. And that to me speaks very loudly about the quality of what they are putting out there. It took me about a year before I stopped wearing foundation. I don't wear even a quarter of the makeup I used to wear. That's been great. And people still notice my skin continues to improve even after almost 3 years of using it. It's like it dials time backwards. I don't know what else besides going in and having laser resurfacing and peels and everything else like that, which would cost you a pretty penny. But I don't know of anything else on a day-to-day basis in this price range that can do that. And I can't say enough about those products. But then also the company, 2 legitimate board-certified dermatologists running a company that, you know, by the way, they were also previously successful on the world stage with Proactive. And here they were marketing another skincare line that addressed more needs than just acne, anti-aging, sun damage. Their acne line is fantastic. It's been wonderful. And also to be able to connect to my community back home, being part of Sarah Bishop's team, getting to know people like Rebecca Rees, who you're about to meet. Danielle, I went to high school with her. I can't say enough about the great women. You know, Laura Faber, I didn't know her before this too. Just a great group of women. I can't say enough about it. It's really been such a gift, both to me physically in terms of my skin, but financially having that backup plan there. I'm really busy with my day-to-day life. I don't work the company full-time, my business full-time. I certainly could fall back on that, and I've already got a running start with it. But I love the camaraderie that it gives me, the ability to bring other people in that I know is to be part of the team. It's an excuse to work together over something that's great, a great product, a great company. They do great things in this world with their Prescription for Change Foundation. So that's about it.
Sarah, that's great. And you are, your skin looks beautiful. And I think you are not the only one who loves the products. You know, I mean, they work for many, many people, which is a real point of credibility for me personally and for lots of us. So I appreciate you sharing, Sarah. Thank you very much. I'm going to put you back on mute. Yes. And I think I am. And there we go. Okay, Rebecca, I think, were you the next one to be added to the team, I think, correct? So I'm going to unmute you. And Rebecca is another Canadian from Calgary who's joining us, but she's going to tell you a little bit about her background, why she said yes, and how she works this into her life. Rebecca?
Hi, so as Laura mentioned, my name is Rebecca Rees, and I live just outside Calgary, Alberta in Canada. So I'm a little distant from the rest of the team, but it's great because we are still connected all the time. I'm a little bit different. I approached the business from products first. I had a lot of skin issues and had tried all the things on the market, but Rodan and Fields ended up being the thing that worked for me. So once I saw those results in the product, kind of similar to Sarah had mentioned, people started asking me about her skin, and I had the exact same thing. People started asking what was I using, because for so many years it had been so bad, and all of a sudden it was great. So I joined as a consultant at that point, and I had been hesitant because I'm not a salesperson. I've worked in trades most of my life. And I really quickly realized that when we say that it's not a sales job, it's true, because really what we're doing is just sharing about the products, about, you know, what we love about them, about how they've affected our life, and how this business has started to build the community that it has for us. I mentioned that I work in trades, and the thing about trades, as some of you may know, it can become a little non-consistent. There can be different seasonal work. And so joining with this business and just sharing with all the people I know really put me in a great place to be able to get that extra paycheck a month. And let's be honest, even if we're working all the hours we can in our regular jobs, an extra paycheck is always a great thing. So it's something that I've really come to appreciate, and I just work it in the pockets of time in my day, on my lunch break, send a couple messages, or you know, share some information about our products that can just help as an education to people, and share it in any way that we can. But it really isn't sales. So if that's the thing that holds you back, just remember that really all we're doing is sharing in the same way we do about the great restaurant we went to last night, or the movie we saw at the theaters last week. And yeah, I guess that's about it.
Rebecca, thank you so much. And Rebecca is kind of a celebrity in our Rodan and Fields world, because her before and after pictures are probably one of the most dramatic before and after pictures. And she has had one of the most transformative results from these products of anyone that you will ever see who uses Rodan and Fields. And it's likely that the consultant who perhaps shared this video with you has her before and after, because we use it as an example quite a bit. But Rebecca, thank you very much for sharing that, and we're so glad that, you know, you're part of our community as I am with everybody tonight, and thank you for your time. So I'm going to remute you, because we are coming back to everybody for one final question, but I am going to go next to Danielle Lapierre, and Danielle is also one of our Canadian consultants, and she's from Welland, Ontario, which is real close to Sarah, but she'll go over that and kind of her background and what she does, why she said yes, and how she works it into her life. Danielle, go for it.
Thank you, Laura. So yeah, like Laura said, my name's Danielle Lapierre. I am one of Sarah Bishop's consultants, but I've been told that I was probably Sarah's hardest no. I'm a 20-year veteran this June to the beauty industry as a hairstylist. I've been mostly self-employed for a majority of my career. I've done education, stage work. So I'm pretty comfortable in my environment. This is not my environment. So thank you again, Laura, for inviting me. In 20 years, I've been involved in a lot of trial products, mostly hair products, but again, hair and skin kind of go hand in hand. But like I said, I was really a strong no. I didn't want anything to do with it. I didn't want another product to try. It wasn't going to do anything. But when I got into hair to make people feel better about themselves. It was more from a standpoint of a personal connection to people. I build relationships really easily with the people in front of me, because I do really want to make them feel better. And when the time came, I was at an impasse, because I refer clients to everything. Like Rebecca had said, I can talk to anybody about anything. If it's a great experience, I can talk to somebody about that for a very long time. So I refer restaurants, I refer products, I refer car dealers, if you've touched my life and made an impact, I'll talk about you, just so you know. But when I went to Sarah, I was panicked, because I had been referring a lot of my clients somewhere, and I had a personal experience where I was sending my clients that I was absolutely mortified that I had referred so many of my very dear clients to somewhere to be mistreated by the staff of where I was sending them. So I got a hold of Sarah. I tried the product, and like Sarah Montgomery had said, I had some really quick results, which is unusual, I guess, but my results were pretty immediate. That the puffiness in the bags under my eyes were gone. I'm not 25, just so you know, but I do have a young daughter. So I'm self-employed. I have a shift working husband. So I'm constantly on the go. And I had a product that worked immediately. It was the eye brightening, and I was blown away at how quickly it worked. I jumped on board the beginning or the end of November. So if a product's going to work for me, it's like, I am absolutely horrible. I am the most dehydrated. I don't eat enough. I've got 56,000 clients in my chair in the month of December. It's insane. So if a product's going to work, it's going to work in the month of December. I didn't jump on with products though. I jumped on with a little sample that Sarah gave me in Tim Hortons. Thank you. And I was like, 2 days later, all right, sign me up. I'm good to go. How do I do this? People need to know about this. Everybody needs to know about this. And in the 16 or so months that I've been with Rodan and Fields, I feel like it's been probably the best 16 months I've had in the beauty industry, and it has absolutely nothing to do with hair. So thank you all for saying yes to Sarah or Laura, because you've all made a huge impact in my life. Thank you for, for being who you guys are to me, because, we really boost each other up, and we talk each other off ledges. But this product is by far the best product I have yet to try in the last 20 years that I've been in this industry. And the product is only a small portion of why it's so amazing. So yeah, that's my story.
We're not supposed to tear up on a business opportunity call, Danielle.
Sorry.
Thanks a lot. But aren't they all beautiful? Spirit, skin, kindness. And like I said, you may hear this from other consultants, but it's true. We really are so grateful to have each other, and it becomes this real special group and a place to work. And I hope you really give it serious consideration. Not only are we the #1 skincare brand in North America, and for a reason, you've heard a lot of product testimonials tonight, but it is the company itself that is legitimate, incredible, and we all care about it deeply, and it's impacted our lives in different ways. So, and it can for you too. Okay, I do want to go through, and I want to ask everybody just their one favorite thing about Rodan and Fields. And Sarah Bishop, I'm going to start with you, and tell me, what is your one favorite thing about this company and business?
Besides the paycheck, obviously, is more importantly the community. So I didn't know I was lacking in the circle. Like, I didn't know I needed more love or friends in my life. I was just going about my thing. And I feel my bucket is filled by these people, these strong women. And every day I meet more friends and strangers who become friends. And so I would say the community, you are in business for yourself, but not by yourself with this. So it's beautiful and very supportive. And then of course the incentives, Laura Faber, I just have to say that. I did just get my Nespresso machine recently. So hey, if you gotta work, what boss is ever gonna give you jewelry and gifts? Come on.
Right, not news. It didn't happen in news.
I got a polo shirt.
Right, and beach trips and so on and so forth. Okay, Sarah Montgomery, I've unmuted you. Go ahead. What's your favorite thing about Rodan and Fields?
Well, I don't think I could pick one specific thing. I think it's a combination of factors, but specifically the quality of the products. They stand on their own. They're fantastic. And then also, as Sarah Bishop was saying, just that community and the camaraderie. I can't, social media is what it is these days, but the most positive group of amazing people that I know, every time I turn on Facebook and look through that group of friends, they're my Rodan and Fields friends. People that I've known from childhood and people that I've known in the last few years. It's just a great group of people, and you can't beat that paycheck either.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Rebecca, let's go to you. You're unmuted now. Your favorite thing about Rodan and Fields?
Oh gosh, all the things. I definitely want to say that something I found unique about Rodan and Fields is that although there are different levels throughout the company, people who are more successful as far as achieving their goals have been around for a long time, whether they've been there for a year or whether they've been there for 10 years in the company, we all treat each other the same. And if you want to reach out to your top of the line leader, they're there for you. And I just think that's really amazing.
Thank you, Rebecca. And Danielle, up to you now. Oh, hang on. I unmuted. You unmuted yourself before I got to you. Sorry, honey. Okay, your favorite thing about Rodan and Field.
You know what? Like I said before, it's the positivity. You can't, 20 years in beauty, and I've yet to meet such a huge group that, like Rebecca just said, it's not necessarily your upline or your downline that's supporting you. It can be anybody in your sidelines. And it's so true. I mean, everything that everybody said tonight, as far as the community, the positivity, it's all so real. And if you get an opportunity to check out any of the training, which is kind of what my big point is that, you get it to a certain point in your career and it's like there's nothing left, almost. It's, there's no more training. What more can you learn? There is so much training available to you in your time frame. You don't have to do it by a specific time. The training can come when you're doing dishes, when you're making dinner, and you can do it in your time. This can go as fast as you want or as slow as you want. And it's been brilliant for me because, I mean, let's face it, I've got people in the chair 24/7 as soon as I walk through that door. So I'm doing my trainings when I'm washing my bowls or eating my lunch in between color settings.
Yeah. Okay, Danielle, and I guess I'm going to go last. My favorite, I'm like everyone has said, all the things, right? I don't have one favorite thing because there are so many great things about this business, the business model and the company. But I think it's the flexibility, and I mean that in all ways. Flexibility in how much you work, flexibility in where you work, flexibility in how you work, whether you're concentrating on building a team or customers, whether you work after the kids go to bed or while they're at school or on the weekend, whether you're on a beach trip with your child or whether you are in the waiting in an office for an appointment, waiting in the waiting room. As long as you have Wi-Fi, you can work it. The flexibility has been huge and allows many of us to be present for other things in our lives that are important too. But the bottom line too is the paycheck. That's awfully nice. And you can have one too next month. So if you've watched this, if one of these stories resonates with you, any of us would be glad to talk to you personally. If you have any other questions, or talk to the consultant who sent this video to you. We are so happy that you are listening to us. We're happy to share our stories, and I thank you. And hope you consider this opportunity because that's what it is. Ladies, good night. Thank you, everybody. And thanks to you for listening to us. I appreciate it.